Scissor Hands looks at the job that needs to be cut, figures out the best way to cut that job, and then programs the cutter. And now we run on multiple different devices, including slitters, die cutters, laser cutters that we have over there, and of course the guillotine cutter. So we figure out the best way to cut it, automate the process, program the cutter to do it, give a visualization of how to cut it, so it's very simple for the operator in order to cut that job. In terms of the animation, we were and still are. There's still nothing out there that has the animation and basically no control panel. I mean, it literally takes 5 minutes to train somebody because there's no complicated screens to do, nothing to really operate. It just works. And so that very simple, almost Steve Jobs Apple-like, interface is what we're going for. So it's so simple, anyone can use it. The code name, the software code name, we always have names for our software in development, and there's a code name for it. And the developers came up with the name Scissorhands for this product. When it went to marketing, they were going to change the name to, some sort of thing that said correct cut or, computer cut or something like this. And at some point we said, you know what, it's really more of a catchy name. Let's leave it as Scissorhands. So Graph Expo is right before Halloween. So we kind of put the two together. We said, let's get girls in costumes, scissor hand costumes. We actually got some more fancier blades for them to wear. And the first year that we did it, we had a tiny little booth, and we had our 8 scissor hand girls, and we had a line of people at our booth. I don't think half of them even knew that we were selling software, but they knew about the girls. And the next year, the same thing. So it was lucky for us that it was just a boon in marketing that everybody remembers the scissor hand girls, and and eventually they realize now that it's software for cutting, so they put it together. We run on multiple different types of cutters. Obviously, we like the Ito. Polars and Perfecta we're talking with. They're all great cutters, and so we'll work with all of those cutters. The Ideal, even in the small format, we have the Ideal cutters, the MBM Triumph cutters. So it's a software license. There's a hardware part piece that goes in, so we have a little piece that goes inside each cutter. In order to talk to the cutter. Some cutter manufacturers are now actually putting a port on the cutter, and a sticker saying Scissor Hands ready. So with those cutters, you just plug in, we plug in and we're done. There's not even a board that needs to go inside anymore. All it takes is to get the software license. The license is actually available on scissorhands.net, so you can see the license and exactly what it is. So part of the application resides locally on the cutter. There's a client, and then there's a server side that is in the cloud, and that is the part that figures out and calculates the cut. So we take the JDF data, which is coming from your prepress, and we send that to the cloud, and we'll calculate hundreds of different ways of cutting that job, optimize it, find the best one for your cutter model, and send that course back down, marry it with the animation, and present it to the operator. One major thing to gain from it is the ability to train operators very quickly. It only takes about 5 or 10 minutes to train an operator to operate this cutter and do it successfully. And before Scissor Hands, it would take up to 6 months to train a cutter operator how to operate and program and measure and do everything correctly to cut a job. And then another major advantage is that you don't make mistakes. The worst place to make a mistake is in the bindery, because you've printed it, you've paid for the paper, you've paid for everything. I guess the worst would be if it gets out the door and you paid for shipping too. But if you make a mistake at bindery, you got to go back on press and do the whole thing. So it's really the saving in not allowing errors. We have a beta site with the camera system, and if it's going to cut wrong, it knows it literally will stop the cutter from cutting, so you cannot make a mistake. So these are huge advantages. So far, very well. The manufacturers are working with us to get it installed on their machines. The large shops love it because obviously it automates everything. So pretty much the larger the shop, the more attractive it is. It's really taken to the market very well. It's available in Asia. It's available in Europe and available in the United States and in Latin America, South America, and lower. So we have sales agents and service techs in all of those locations. Moving more to laser cutting. I mean, as things become more intricate and interesting, obviously the slitting was a huge advantage for us, that we can slit things by moving shafts that you wouldn't think could be slit. And so that was a huge jump to breathe new life into slitters. Obviously, guillotine cutters will be here forever, but laser cutting is amazing, and the things you can do with laser cutting are fantastic. So we're really excited about getting Scissor Hands on the laser cutters now. So Heap is really just a parent company, and it owns Opensoft, which is our software company, and we do software for different things. We do case management software for courts, we do security software, we do print software for printing. So that's what Opensoft does. We also have an online group that does marketing and online printing. And in that group, we have several brands, including Budget Prints and OvernightPrints.com and those sort of things. So it's online e-commerce. And then we have another group that manufactures. And the manufacturing group has print plants, and we have print plants on the East Coast and on the West Coast of the United States. We have print plants in Germany. And then we also have another product that we have, which is a totally free product for both printers, providers, and for websites, and it's called InkRouter. And it matches up the two. It is a free service for both of them. We use it with all of our products. And so any print client can dump an order in, it'll route it to the best place to have that fulfilled, send it to them, they'll fulfill it, and do all the tracking for you.